sure you've seen this on the news.
Invadir una casa en United States.
In his most recent controversial TikTok video, Moreno is telling his followers to avoid living on the streets in the United States. They can, quote, invade empty homes and live there, saying under U.S. law, if a house is uninhabited, it can be seized, referring to squatting rights in our country. That video garnered almost 4 million views.
That's right, illegals are gaming the system further. If it wasn't bad enough that they're breaking the law by coming over the border illegally, now they're trying to steal people's homes. Whether you have a seasonal home, second home, vacation home, or whether you just want to leave town for a few weeks, for some R&R, you need to pay attention to this video. I'm going to give you some steps on how to protect your property. Now, laws are different in every state, so definitely check the laws in your state. But if you're not aware, in blue states, the laws are a lot looser. So if you own a property in a blue state, well, you have a much higher risk of having a squatter take over your property. This is happening in high numbers in sanctuary cities.
But some lawmakers say those laws have gone way too far. They say it also allows dishonest people to milk the system and to get free housing for years.
In New York, if you call the police on someone who moved in without permission, if they claim to be a tenant, they can't be arrested for trespassing. The homeowner instead has to take them to court.
Yes, recently a woman went to prepare her property for sale, showed up and found out it had been taken over by squatters. And instead of arresting the squatters, the owner was the one that got arrested.
You shouldn't be trying to steal my house. Yes, you are.
In New York City, squatters have tenants' rights after 30 days, making this a landlord-tenant dispute. So when Adele had the locks changed again...
You're getting arrested right now?
I'm being arrested.
For what?
For being in my own home.
Police then took her away in handcuffs for unlawful eviction. When it comes to squatters, homeowners across the country have to navigate a slew of laws which vary by state.
I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Yes, she was arrested because she was trying to secure her own property. She was changing the locks, and she's the one that got locked up. As I even say those words, it's really hard to believe that we live in the United States of America and this is happening. What's up is down, and what's down is up. Now, these squatters, they're very versed in the laws in the city and state where they're hanging out, and they are very resourceful. They get online, they start looking for rental properties that are vacant, vacation rentals. They even look at things like obituaries to see if a house where someone's died and not living in it anymore, it's got to go through probate. So there's a time period where the home's going to be vacant, and that's when they strike.
The squatters move under the radar to try to move in very fast, and in some cases even changing the lock so they can move in before the owner finds out.
I saw about 20 people at my property trying to move in as fast as they could.
After her previous tenant moved out, the home had only been vacant for 10 days.
Unfortunately, some of these squatters have gotten pretty sophisticated.
Rena Chanty was getting her home ready to put it up for rent when a neighbor called to tell her someone was trying to move in. The squatters were moving in a refrigerator, a washer and dryer.
Basically everything a house needs. They were even putting up their decoration pieces, and they had changed the locks.
When deputies arrived, the squatters were still in the process of moving in. Though not commenting on this specific case, Ray Pruitt with the Sheriff Department says squatters can take refuge under the California tenant law and have even been known to falsify rental agreements.
Now, regardless of where you stand politically, you can't be okay with squatters. I mean, no one should be okay with someone taking over property that they don't own. And you should, if you own a second home or rental property, you should make yourself very aware of what the squatter laws are in your state. And if you don't like what you see, you should definitely reach out to your state representative and ask those laws to be changed. Yes, in many states they have squatters' rights. I know, it's hard to believe, but they do. And those rights are enforced once the squatter has been on the property for a certain number of days. So you don't want that to happen. You know, here in the state of Florida, we have a high number of people with seasonal homes. A lot of people have second homes here. So this makes us a high target for this type of illegal activity. And we've taken steps now to make it much less attractive to try to squat in the state of Florida. And I think every state in the union should do this.
Does your house belong to you? Or if you are not using it, can someone just come in, squat for a period of time, and then claim that they have a right to be there?
We recently had some laws passed, and they go into effect this month, March 2024, making it quite easy to remove an unwanted squatter in your property.
Momentarily, I'll be signing HB 621, which will give the homeowner the ability to quickly and legally remove a squatter from a property, and which will increase criminal penalties for squatting.
But until all the laws change in all 50 states, you're gonna have to take steps to protect your property. So I'm gonna give you some tips on how you can protect your home, your personal property, from having an unwanted guest. So first, for all of you people having your home, your second home, seasonally rented, like in an Airbnb, VRBO, well, your chances of getting someone squatting in your home is much higher because they know the home is not occupied. So you could consider hiring a realtor to lease the property out for short term. This will help reduce the chance of squatting. Most importantly, do not advertise the address of the property. Make sure the home does not look vacant. If you are posting pictures online, make sure the house has furniture in it. I would not advertise or publish pictures of the outside of the property. This too will make it easier for a squatter to potentially figure out if they're casing your house online, if that is indeed the house that's advertised for rent. It's a good idea to keep the home well lit. Second, seasonal homes or even rental properties, I would suggest using timers. Yeah, put a timer on, have the lights come on and off. Also use a timer for your stereo. Having sound come on and off is another way to make someone think the house is occupied. Get to know your neighbors. That's right, if you have a second home, seasonal home, or a vacation rental of some sort, or just a standard rental, get to know the neighbors on each side of you. Give them your contact information. Let them know the house isn't occupied all the time and to contact you immediately if something looks out of place. You know, there are services for this. A lot of property management companies offer this type of service where they come into your property weekly, check all the windows and doors to make sure everything's locked up. Also make sure your air conditioner is working properly, that you haven't, had the overflow valve get clogged up and flood your home. These are good things to do if you are going to be gone for an extended period of time. Always make sure your home looks well manicured. Keep the grass cut. If a home looks like it's not being maintained, it is a clue to a potential squatter that no one's home. Cameras. If you can't put cameras all the way around your house, at least have a doorbell camera that's hooked up to your internet that would ping your phone the minute someone tried to get into that house. So you can call authorities and let them know that there's a break-in. I'd also like to mention that many of these squatters can be quite dangerous. There was a woman recently here that went to her apartment, found people squatting in it, and she ended up dead.
Police say the victim walked into the apartment in Kips Bay last week, found the squatters in the living room, and that would be the last time anyone saw her alive again.
Sandra, Natalie Vitale was murdered inside apartment 19A in this Kips Bay building. To get to that apartment, to get to that floor, you need a special key for the elevator. Police now believe the two people who killed her somehow got hold of that key and used it to stay in the apartment while she was away, until Ms. Vitale unexpectedly came home and found them there.
The woman was murdered by two squatters. You know, we're in a changing world. Whether you have a second home or not, you should definitely make sure your home is secure. Nobody wants to feel unsafe. So consider adding outside lighting. More lighting, the better. Motion sensor lighting will deter someone from trying to break into your home. Whether you have a dog or not, put up a beware of dog sign. Also helps reduce the chance that someone's going to target your home. And as I mentioned before, cameras. Put up cameras and put up a sign that says you have them. And speaking of cameras, I will put in the description box below some wireless cameras you can put on your home. Through my Amazon affiliate link, I do get a small commission if you choose to use it. Well, I hope you found these tips helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Lets me know that you got some value out of the video, and it's free. Also free is subscribing. I would love to have you as part of my YouTube family. Now I am going to try to enjoy some of this beautiful weather today. It's about 75 degrees and sunny. I certainly can't complain. And I want to thank you for being here. My name is Lisa. This is Living with Lisa, and I hope I see you on my next video. Take care.